Of a state police officer could have been avoided. That is the conclusion an NMSP report reached, saying slain officer Darian Jarrett should never have been brought into a dangerous federal drug operation. News 13's Madison Connor is in Newsplex with more.
Months after Officer Darian Jarrett was shot to death in 2021 by a known drug dealer, NMSP formed an investigative team to look deeper into what happened. Those findings suggest poor communication with the feds led to the deadly shooting. Within moments of this 2021 traffic stop on I-10, State Police Officer Darian Jarrett would be killed, and a confusing narrative about how the stop unfolded would follow.
That's one of my biggest frustrations even now. Is, there's some different people said different things.
The 28-year-old officer was shot to death by Omar Cueva, a drug dealer at the center of a federal investigation. Now, a new NMSP investigation calls out Homeland Security investigations for the events leading up to the shooting, saying HSI had a flawed tactical plan made worse with bad communication.
On these type of incidents, it's very important that everybody's on the same page. We had critical information that did not get to all the individuals.
When HSI planned to arrest Cueva, they also brought in a state police canine officer with the idea of pulling Cueva over. HSI put out this BOLO alert that eventually led to Officer Jarrett getting involved.
There wasn't a need to really even involve Officer Jarrett. I mean, there was a contingency in place and personnel in place to deal with it that had much more information and that were more involved and have been previously involved.
Investigators found most of the communication about Cueva was done over text and that Jarrett wasn't a part of it. No one from NMSP was at the briefing the day of the stop.
A lot of those possible ways to deal with the situation would have been dictated by what specific information the officer had.
Chief Wiesler admits his department could have done more before the shooting.
We had best practices that were not followed in this situation. One of the results that came out of this report is that we've had several of those best practices formalized into policy now.
However, NMSP's investigation places blame on HSI, saying, quote, HSI put the value of the narcotics case and concealing the informant's identity over the value of the life of the NMSP officers helping them.
It's very upsetting. There's never a time that, an officer that drugs or evidence should ever be placed above the safety of an officer. The plan was much more solid than what actually did happen. So if that plan would have been followed, then, I think it's quite likely that, all the officers would have gone home safely that day.
Chief Wiesler also acknowledged today that there is some information they'll never know, including exactly how much Officer Jarrett knew at the time of the traffic stop. Back to you.
All right, Madison, thank you. A personal injury lawsuit filed by Officer Jarrett's widow against the federal government for the shooting was dismissed last year. An attorney for Jarrett's widow said he had no comment about NMSP's report.